So I was confused that we went from...
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm sure this wasn't the
Keep
right
this
one.
in, this is good.
Cow now, brown cow.
I haven't even checked my, like, what I normally say. So
What noise did you just make?
Oh, it's just like a fast forward.
Was it?
fast forward.
Was it?
It's good, sweet. I'll just pause for a bit there because I realised I got the old one.
That's how a professional organisation runs.
So where are we up to? Yes. Back.
Alright, back on it.
Yeah, we'll wing it. We'll
Okay. Alright, welcome everyone. This is our tip-off edition of The Closeout. So officially episode number 2 for the 2020 season. We had one during lockdown, but you can see we're all here in living colour, I guess. James, Community Basketball Manager.
It was a good show. Laurie McDaniel, Community Development Officer. Yep.
And Marty Davison, Referee Manager.
Yes, I don't... Do you know what in living colour was?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Oh, that's why I kind of stayed quiet and wasn't... Yeah.
Disappointing.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, it was a fantastic show. The Wayne brothers were in it, so those are probably...
J-Lo was a dancer back then. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, on to more important things. Winter Club Basketball, we're actually basically tipping off this weekend here coming up. We initially expected to have 176 teams entering in the competition. Slight reduction down to that, but we're actually pretty much equal with where we were in 2019. 166 teams, which will give us 73 games on a full weekend, so a lot of work for Marty, assigning referees, and then obviously the referees which go and help make our games work. This is one less than last year, just with the number of buyers in specific grades. Thompson and Whelan Trophy, the McDonald's Thompson and Whelan Trophies confirmed with 44 teams. So overall, pretty happy with how resilient the basketball community's been, and we're really looking forward to seeing them on the court.
Thank you, James. And even though most of our teams have not had a chance to start back, and it starts this weekend, our 14 midweek teams have had the opportunity to take the court once pre-lockdown, and for the second time this past Wednesday. And we had some very well-known members of the basketball community take the court. Royals extraordinaire, Kathy Highland, with a lovely little baseline jumper here, and followed up by another high-profile community basketball member, Bina Lisserman, this guy, with a beautiful post-up shot. And then we move on to the Pioneer Pumas with Connie Dick, the development officer for Pioneer Basketball, and Kim Jarvis, also getting some buckets here. So we've got some well-known members out on the court already, which is great.
4 other members as well that have been playing in the midweek competition for a while. You always see Terry Brunel rocking the court for Checkers White.
Getting buckets,
Getting buckets, shooting that three-point shot to perfection like he always does. We've got Jeremy Phillips for Atami, former MVP David Baird for University, and my brother Sam Davison playing for Pioneer as well.
Did you choose him and put him in?
Yes, I did. I added him to the list. I think he's only played for about 2 years, so he's not really one of the stalwarts, but he's in there.
He's going to be though.
He will be, yeah.
And then some of the other ones, I have Matt Vernick, who's in the Atami club and also one of the rep coaches for us here for Atami.
Under 15 girls.
Tom Feng, who's reasonably new to basketball here, but he's been instrumental in the ARC team being involved in our competitions over the last 2 seasons. And then from Checkers White, along with Terry Brunel, these are the Twin Towers. I think Paul Isa and then Ed Book.
That's the biggest front line I've seen
in a midweek game.
Yeah.
They scored a huge percentage of their points, I think 18 and 20 points between them, and I think Terry Brunel was the next highest scorer at 6.
How many threes did Ed have?
It was 0.
I
think from memory, I need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure all his points were inside the 3-point line.
Right. Cool. Also, just to add in, we've got some members with some cool names, so we've just put them in. So Jackie Robinson from Pioneer Pacers, and Carmel Gunn from the CYA here with some awesome stuff going on. And just for those of you that aren't sure what a foul looks like, former tall fern Jane Lattimore here has just popped a couple on so we can all have a double check of what an actual foul is. So thank you for that, Jane.
I think there could be some referee education there.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely, absolutely.
Sure. Yes, it is on me. So for Marty's Minute this week, it's really simple message we're going to talk about. It's kind of a blessing to be back, having basketball back in the community. A lot of countries still going through a lot of issues and things. So my sort of message today is just everyone be kind to each other on the court this weekend. Play as hard as you can. Obviously, try to win, compete, but be kind and be nice to everyone. Referees, coaches, players, administrators. Get out there, enjoy it. And first week back, so yeah, not really a Marty's Minute for this week. More of just a just a
You may have kept it
little
under a minute this
reflection
time.
about
That was a great
basketball
one, Marty.
coming into community on the weekend, and then as we move forward on the weeks, we'll get into some refereeing stuff from next closeout.
So also a couple of changes after we've obviously switched from level 2 to level 1 just on Monday. So now we don't need to have every single person checked in with 20 people and limiting the number of people coming into a basketball thing. So it's all individual responsibility, but we do have our close contact tracing, which very easy. Everyone, you need to be registered to play basketball anyway, so make sure you've done that, you're in your teams. And then once you get to a venue, virtually all of them we expect will have the New Zealand government, the COVID tracker app, and that'll be the easiest way to do it. If you don't have a cell phone, it's your job to have a pen and paper or a very good memory to keep track of where you have been. About the only other major difference from level 2 to level 1 for us, apart from spectators, locker rooms can be used after a game now, so you don't have to have the quick entry exit, different points, and then we're now going to encourage teams and expect that they'll want to shake hands again. So now that we don't have to be aware of the excessive physical contact or unnecessary physical contact, you're encouraged to shake hands. If your team is not comfortable with that, please do chat with the other opposing team before the game so you work out what you're going to be doing there so everyone's happy and not surprised at the end of the game. But should be very cool and exciting to see once we get back out on the court.
Yep, and all these things you've mentioned, James, are government recommendations. We're following everything that we're supposed to and just want to have an enjoyable experience,
yes.
right?
No, definitely.
Excellent.
Be kind,
yeah,
right, Marty?
Yeah.
Be
Like we
kind.
said, like we
Yep.
said.
Fantastic. Just wanted to take a wee second to mention the lockdown with lorries that occurred during the lockdown, shockingly, because that's the word there. We'll look at returning some of those in the off-season, but I did just want to take a moment to thank everybody that took the time to be a guest on Lockdown with Laurie, and for those of you that tuned in and listened every week. It was a good way to connect with our community while we couldn't see them face-to-face. So thank you, everybody, for that. I think we have a few clips up here of some of those, but we'll look forward to seeing some of those again, and possibly technological guy over here, James, has talked about some different formatting so that it may be podcasting. So
yes,
we'll bow to James on that.
I enjoyed those, Laura. Good to hear some perspectives from around the community. It was
Thanks
good
for that, Marty.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
It wasn't just the competitions that had started up, but after school hoops has also began at a variety of gyms around the country. So Cowell's Stadium reopened their program on Monday, and this week they had I'm not sure how many people that says there.
Oh yeah, it
James,
says
take part.
XX.
XX,
I forgot to
maybe.
say. To check that. It was around about 30.
Around about 30.
Yep.
30 people take part. So that's great to see hoops get back up and running.
It was 42.
Oh, 42. Yeah. Well, I should probably write that down next time for the list. But yeah, great to see them back out on the floor.
Thank you. And some of the referees, they'll be on the games for the Miles Toyota Men's Premier Competition, which does start this weekend, 13th of June. So the first game, 2 o'clock at Cal Stadium. We have Gators taking on Lincoln University, and a couple of the players that we've sort of picked as ones to be particularly aware of and see how the game goes. Ihai Kendrew, who's sort of gone on a bit of a circuit of teams on that side of the city. Started off at Gators, went to Pioneer for a season, then Lincoln University for a year on scholarship, and now he's back at Gators and will be playing his previous year's team. And then Ben Carlisle-Smith, as long as he doesn't get drafted in the NBL, is a player who played extremely well for the Middleton Grange High School team last year. So they're the two from Gators. And then on Lincoln University's side, it's Ben Hall, who I think scored the bulk of their points.
Ben got buckets.
He did last year.
His name was on here a lot last year.
It was. And then another Ben, also a returning player. He's been overseas in America for a year after finishing his degree at Lincoln University. Back on scholarship post-grad, Ben Bowie. Bazza will be back, and sure he will be sprinting up and down the court and get some easy buckets there.
Okay. The game after that features Atami vs Pioneer at 3:40 p.m. at Cal Stadium. And the highlighted players, or players to watch for this game, for Atami we have Derek Albertson, former Rams player.
Yep, and Taranaki Mountaineer, also in the draft eligible pool.
Right, so we'll see. And Shirley High School old boy Joel Jeffrey back from Australia. I believe, Alid, your name was on that list, but you got bumped for Joel, so talk to him if you feel about that. And then for Pioneer, we have a young up-and-comer webcam, Tom Webley, and also Ollie Davies for Pioneer. Marty, you're also not on that list.
I don't deserve
Are
to be
you
on
not
that list.
playing?
No, I'll be running around, but I'm glad these two people were there instead of me. Yes.
All right, so keep an eye out for those two teams in that game at 3:40 p.m. at Cowes.
Awesome. And the last game of the men's premier competition is going to be North Canterbury versus UC, and that one tips off at 5:20 at Cowes. key players in the team that won the championship last year for UC and are back again this year. Brent Fisher, the big fella in the middle, and explosive guard Josh Peterman.
Josh is my favourite.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So I forgot to write this down.
I think I know the two.
Okay.
I was going to mention them anyway. For NC, we have Wade Parada and Nat Connell, the key players to watch for there. And Nat's been around a long time, and I'm sure he's still going to be as competitive as ever.
He's got a crazy post-up game
Oh,
for a
I
game.
think the best guard post-up player
Yep.
in Canterbury, and
Yep.
I'll say that till I stop playing, I think. So,
Yep.
absolutely. Also, we have the Miles Hurdle Women's Premier League should also be very strong, and 4 teams set to tip off on June 27th, so a few weeks from now. So looking forward to that, and that starts off as well. So.
Cool, thank you. Also, on to our plays of the week. So a couple of ones here. We've obviously not had a whole lot of games to go through, but we did find some pretty cool plays. And first one I have here is James McGregor from Royals. Good steal from his teammate under the basket. Bit of dribbling here and a great lead pass up to McGregor. Pretty tough catch. He manages to finish the ball, finish the basket while he's sort of sprinting out of bounds. So very well done. Excellent execution of the fast break, steal and bucket in transition.
My player of the week is the explosive and ever-skilled Bina Lissaman with a lovely Euro step finish through the lane, just highlighting what a tremendous athlete Bina is in her, should we call them her twilight basketball years, but still getting buckets. Get at it, Bina.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, James wrote that down. I
he
just
wrote-
said that
I
word for
didn't know.
word, word for word.
Come on, James. It's not. Yeah, that's good. The third one is from the closest game we had for midweek on Wednesday night. Midnight Marauders scored the final 10 points to come away with a 45-43 win. And this 3-pointer here,
Yeah.
great defensive challenge by Matt Vernick, but Kyle Bryan was open to up to the task and banks the triple to tie the game, and then they ended up winning by 2 points in the closest game for midweek.
Did he call the bank though?
I don't know if he did, but I reckon he should just claim that he did. It
Okay.
was from the 45.
I think
so-
looking at his, how
A
happy he was after
45
it.
banked three.
Yes.
Classy.
Yeah.
You can see the strut afterwards.
Yeah,
he's he's happy
feeling
with it and
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Very confident.
Yeah.
Good finish to that one.
We'd just like to take this time as we're wrapping up the closeout here, episode 2, to thank NZCT, so New Zealand Community Trust Funding. They contribute a great deal to the wages of the people you see in front of you and the people behind the scenes. So thank you very much to New Zealand Community Trust for your continued support of Canterbury basketball.
Right, that's week, well, I guess not really week 2, episode 2 in the books. Good job, good effort.
Good work. I didn't have anything
Oh,
ready.
no.